Checking.
Hey everyone, welcome back.
All right. Call.
This is still the same hand that was in the last video, and these two are playing it out. Yeah, that guy's definitely a bluffing station across from me.
Bet you didn't see that coming.
Send 2 offsuit. This right here has the distinction of being the worst hand you can have. Always fold a hand like that.
Call. Check.
Unless all you have to do is check, which means you don't have to put any money in the pot. Then you can always see a free pot.
I'm gonna check.
I'm gonna check. Check.
And this is why it's such a horrible hand. See, even though I connected with the 7, look at all the kings and the aces there.
Check.
I mean, even though I have a pair, I'm still worried it's a horrible pair.
I'm gonna check.
I'm gonna check.
I'll check.
Looks like nobody had anything.
All mine.
The only reason he won was because he had a jack and the cards these guys were holding were even lower. Let's take a look at the totals. Who's got what? Mr. Bluffy Aggressive Dude has the most money across from me. Me and the guy on the left, we're holding our own with about what we started with. And the guy on the right's getting close to,
My hand sucks.
I'm calling.
he's getting...
There's more where that came from.
Call.
Call.
Check.
Let's see if you blink.
I call.
All in.
I fold.
Wow. Lucky him. Okay, so let's see what happened. Why did this guy call with Jack 10 when he didn't have anything on the flop? See, what was on the flop was 6, 8, 9. And this guy connected, so he put all his money in. So why did this guy call with just 10 Jack? Well, there's 2 reasons. First of all, if you notice, 8, 9, 10 Jack is an outside straight. That means that if he got a queen, or if he got a 7, he would have made a straight. The second reason is because he had overcards. Now, what's an overcard? An overcard means his 2 cards were higher than the cards that were on the flop. See, his 10 Jack are larger numbers than the 9, 8, 6 on the board. So, even if this guy was betting because he connected one of these cards, there's always a chance that he could connect with one of these higher cards and win, which is exactly what he did. The Jack showed up on the river, and he happened to connect, so he ended up winning. Third and finally, the main reason why he called when this guy went all in is because he didn't have much money. It only cost a little bit of money for him to see the turn and the river for free. And there was already so much in the pot that he said, yeah, let's go for it. I have a chance of getting a straight. I have a chance of getting a higher pair and beating this guy. So he did it, and it worked out for him. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If it doesn't, you can leave comments. But in short, the main reason why I called was because it didn't cost him a lot of money to see the turn the river. I mean, if he had this huge stack and he threw it all in, he would have folded. But because it didn't cost a lot of money, he figured it was worth chancing to see if he got a 10, a jack, or a straight.
All right.
Hope that makes sense. So what are the hand probabilities? Well, let's take a look here. I thought that showed hand probabilities, but apparently it doesn't.
Fold.
Maybe this does. Here we go. Here's our hand probabilities. I have Queen 3 offsuit, which is a throwaway hand. You'll find that most hands that you get, you'll have to throw away. If you want to play and play and play, no matter what you get, no limit hold'em isn't the hand for you. But basically, in rank, from worst to best, the worst hand to have is a high card, which is what I have. Then 1 pair, and then 2 pairs, which of course you'll need the flop. 3 of a kind, straight, flush, full house, 4 of a kind, straight flush, and royal flush. If you have any questions with any of these, just leave comments and I'll explain. Most of them make sense. A straight means 5 out of the 7 cards are consecutive, like 8, 9, 10, jack, queen. A flush means 5 of the 7 cards are the same suit. Like in my case, if this spade and 4 of the 5 cards here were spades, then I'd have a flush. 4 of a kind probably makes sense. Straight flush means not only do you have a flush, but all the cards that you have make a straight with it. That is a very rare hand. And then the mother of all hands is a royal flush. It is only an ace, king, queen, jack, 10 of the same suit. That is the absolute best hand you can have. And basically, when you get that hand, try and get as much money as you can in the pot. And frankly, straight flush, do the same thing. 4 of a kind, do the same thing. It's worth going broke when you have any of these. Alright, so that's our hand rankings. I'm going to fold again. Let these guys duke it out.
Come to daddy.
So now you know what a flop, turn, and river is. You know what the hand rankings are. And you know how to bet, right? Now we're going to try and work on how to play.
Fold.
Some tactics to play against these guys.
I'm gonna check.
I could do this all day long.
I'm out.
Wow, what a hand. Yeah, he definitely...
All right.
Whoops, sorry if that made a lot of noise. I hit the microphone. But yeah, he had a hand worth betting out that time.
I'm folding.
I'll raise.
You can have it.
I
I have a horrible hand.
Haha, bet you didn't see that coming.
The best thing to do is just to watch, see how they bet, and see what kind of cards they bet with. And you can kind of develop an idea about the players.
I could do this all day long.
See, that guy seems pretty aggressive, huh?
My hand sucks.
Well, I don't have a hand to playing against him, so he can get the cash.
Way ahead of you, baby.
Doesn't matter, because if you look at our totals, I'm still holding my own. 250, it's the same amount I started with. They have a little more of me, but I'm still doing alright. Jack 7. Once again.
Great.
Let's
Horrible.
see what you got.
Fold.
Besides, when I get to fold, I don't make any
That's how
mistakes,
it's done.
and I can watch them play. The best tactic you can find, the best tactic I know of playing this
I'm gonna
game
call.
is beginners look for reasons to call. Pros look for reasons to fold.
Checking.
I'm calling this hand, or what's known as a check, only because it doesn't cost me any money to do so.
I raise.
Now, we know this guy's bluffy, right? So what should I do here? I have a 4 and a 5. And the board is ace, queen, 6. Well, I know he's bluffy, but this
Stop
is a...
stalling and play.
Oh, shut up. This hand's horrible. This hand's horrible to go up against him with. I'd rather go up against him if I had an ace or a queen in my hand. So, I'm gonna fold.
I'm
The
out.
way to play against that guy is to connect with something and then just calm him down.
Bet you didn't see that coming.
Now, one thing that's interesting about this guy as opposed to the last guy is, you know, he's betting out when he's connecting. Now, I don't know if the AI changes on these players. Like, is this guy always bluffy,
There's more
or
where
is
that
he
came
a
from.
different player? He seems really aggressive pre-flop. Pre-flop meaning before the flop shows up.
My hand sucks.
I will obviously fold again.
I call.
Now remember, that guy bet pre-flop,
I'll
so
raise
let's
you.
see what kind of hand
gonna
he
call.
bet.
I'll check.
There's more where that came from.
I fold.
Wow. Now let's see what he had. He had ace king, definitely a bet, a hand worth, you know, raising up pre-flop. But look at what he did. When this guy checked, he bet, even though he had nothing. He had nothing on the board. You know, there's a pair of nines on the board. All he had was high card. That's awful. But once again, because he was the one that bet, he won.
Bet you didn't see that coming.
Just something to keep in mind, you know. You'll notice that the winners are the ones that tend to be aggressive and bet. And the people that check and only bet when they have a hand, they tend to slowly bleed out their cash. But I'm just trying to teach you how to play.
Fold it.
I'm not trying to
I'll
teach you
raise.
advanced tactics.
Oh, fuck.
Come to daddy.
I know it seems really boring that I'm folding and folding over and over again, but, you know, the hands come. You have to be really patient,
Fold.
and then you get a
Fold
hand
it.
like that. And I'll even raise it up a little bit on him just to see how good his hand is. Let's go to 20.
Gonna raise.
I'm calling.
Good. I want him to call. What do we got here? Now, pair of 8s and a 10. Now, to me, this tells me that he probably did not connect. When there's a pair on the board, you know, usually you don't connect with only 2 cards. So I'm gonna bet. Remember
Okay.
what I said, the person who bets generally gets a pot. So I'm gonna bet somewhere around half pot.
I'll raise.
I'm out.
Ta-da! And I won, even though I didn't have anything. Just because I was the first one to bet.
All right.
And I did bet, I ended up winning the pot.
Oh, fuck.
Now this is actually a pretty bad hand, but since it's just me and him, I'm gonna try and raise. Remember how the other guy would do it and he'd fold?
I call.
Well, that didn't work so well, but hopefully I'll land a king. Oh, wow, that's bad. Well, I'm gonna bet, and then that's it. I'm gonna bet half pot, and if he calls, I'm dead meat.
Gonna raise.
I'm gonna call.
After that, we check. I have kings and aces, but even then I'm not happy about it.
I'm gonna check.
I'll raise.
Damn. This is tough because I have aces and kings. So did he calm me down? You know something? I'm gonna calm down because I think he would have raised me
Calling.
if he had 3 aces.
Check.
You've got nothing. Call in.
Oh shit. This is gonna be tough. If he's got 3 aces, I'm dead meat. If he's got a king and a higher card, then I'm also dead meat.
Play already.
This is tough. It's really stupid of me to call, but whatever.
Call.
Let's see what he had.
Good
Well
hand.
Hey, look at that. It worked out. It's interesting. Yeah, I guess he did call because he connected with the 10. Very interesting.
Thank you, Lady Luck.
Alright, so what are we looking at now? We're about even. And it's just me and Mr. Bluffy here.
I'm calling.
I'll check
I'm gonna
just
check.
because it's free.
Hey.
Okay. Now those 3 cards are called the what? You know what it is. It's the flop. I have complete trash. And that's a really horrible thing to bet out on, so I'm just gonna check fold.
Checking.
Check.
Yoda. Checking.
I check.
It's interesting, he's not playing like the aggressive post-flop player he was. I'm gonna check.
I'm gonna check.
I'm gonna raise.
15, huh? Do I even have a flush? I don't even have that, so
Folding.
you can have it.
I'm way ahead of you, baby.
Oh, hello.
Well, hopefully I can end with this guy in the next 10 minutes, because we're 20 minutes into the video. If it turns out within the next 10 minutes that one of us doesn't beat the other, ooh, what a horrible hand. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bluff.
Gonna raise.
I call.
Ugh. I really wished he didn't do that. Yeah, I'm done with this hand. Well, then again, the only way I'm gonna win is if I bet, so
Hi there.
I'm gonna pretend that I've got an ace, and hopefully he'll fold at about 2/3
raise.
pot.
Oh, fuck.
Ta-da! See how that works?
Oh, hello.
If you don't bet, you don't win, and that was a total bluff.
Never this lucky.
It's interesting. He's aggressive.
Hey,
He's aggressive pre-flop, but he is rather he's pretty straightforward post-flop.
I'll raise.
I wonder if
Gilda.
see how he's aggressive pre-flop. That's not really a hand to take him on with, so
Folding.
we're evenly matched. I don't care if he steals the blinds.
Bet you didn't see that coming.
Now there's one last thing that you need to learn about no limit poker. See how we're both putting chips out? Those are called blinds. Now 2 people always put them out, and since there are only 2 people in this here between us, then we're both putting blinds out. But there's a difference. He put out the big blind, as you can see in the top left, 10 chips, and I put in the small blind.
Stop stalling and play.
Oh, shut up. I'm explaining things, jackass. So, what does that mean? Well, the small blind is the small blind is half of the big blind. He posted 10 chips, so my small blind is 5. It also makes a difference for position,
Your turn.
because I'm the first one to bet. So I'm gonna raise and see what he does.
Gonna raise.
I'm folding.
Well, that didn't work. Too bad, because that was a really nice hand. Now watch what happens this time.
Alright.
Remember, he was the big blind last time. But you'll notice he'll switch. And now I'm the big blind, so I'm going to post $10, and he's the small blind, and he'll post $5. And you'll notice,
Where that came from?
see, you notice he's also the first one to bet. So let's see what I got. Ace 4. Not a great hand, but it's worth seeing a flop for. Hopefully an ace will show up. Ooh, now let's see what he does.
Hi there. I'm gonna check.
I check.
Yeah, he's pretty straightforward after the flop. So now I'm gonna bet for 2 reasons. Number 1, because I have high card, and number 2, because I connected with that 4, and hopefully he'll fold, because he doesn't seem to want to play unless he connects,
Let's sweeten the pot.
I fold.
and that's how I won. He doesn't seem to be the same AI
I can't believe I won.
the last time he was bluffy and really aggressive both pre and post flop. This time he seems to be aggressive pre-flop and straightforward, basically an honest bettor post flop. And that means with the 5 minutes I got left, I might actually win this. Remember, he's aggressive, so I don't want to mess with him unless I got a good hand. I'll just fold if I don't
Bet
have
you
it.
didn't see that coming.
Hello.
See how the blinds change? I've got the big blind, and he's the one that gets to bet first.
I'll raise you.
You see how aggressive he is pre-flop? Well, I don't have the hand to take him on, so he's gonna get it.
Come to daddy.
Now, when you're playing professionally, what you do when someone gets too aggressive like that is you re-raise them on occasion. You fight back. Of course, you want to do it with a good hand, but you don't always have to. Sometimes you can teach them a lesson, get them to settle down. That's a good hand there. Worth raising, so let's see what happens.
Raise.
There's more where that came from.
Oh, wow. So he's got something good, huh?
Hi there.
Alright, Queen 10 suited. Definitely not worth re-raising, but we'll see a flop with it. Now, the one thing to worry about with this kind of hand is...
Oh, hello.
Look at that
I
top.
raise.
Look at what he's got. Now, remember how aggressive he was getting. He might have jacks or queens or kings or even aces. But I'm going to call him anyway. He does seem to be a straightforward player. But I want to see what he does here on the turn. I have top pair. Uh-oh.
Checking.
Interesting. This is a really interesting play. He bet on the flop and then he checks. He could have a flush draw. I'm gonna have to bet half pot.
Play your turn or lose it.
Shut the fuck up or I kill you. Alright, here we go.
Hello.
This is a really gutsy move on my part, but I am hoping he really doesn't have anything and he'll fold.
I see your bet and I'll raise.
All in. That's how you do this.
Fuck. Yeah, he's got my ass kicked. You know what I'm guessing? He probably has kings, and because he got tripped kings, he decided to check.
Hey.
Okay, you win, asshole. Actually, all he had was a pair of kings, but it was still enough to beat me. So I did the right thing by folding, even though it hurt really bad. See how bluffy he was, though? He bet on the flop once again with nothing. So I did the right thing. He just once again donked his way into getting top pair on the turn. Jackass.
Oh, fuck.
Unfortunately, that's poker. Sometimes even really horrible players win. And that's why sometimes, even when you're really hoping for a card, you luck out and get it too. Just remember, you can get just as lucky as the other guy can. A lot of people only focus on the times when. Yeah, you can have it. People only focus on the times when they lose, but just also remember those times when you luck out and win too. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm gonna beat this guy in the next minute. But I hope I was able to teach you.
I fold.
Yeah, it's gonna take a long time.
Hey.
So right now I still have about the same amount of money that I showed up with, but I lost $500, so my only chance of getting it back is to beat this guy here, and I'm gonna do that. But unfortunately I won't be able to do it anymore without wasting another half hour. So I guess what I'll do is thank you.
My hand sucks.
And hopefully I've taught you how to bet. the different hand rankings, when you've
Bet
got
you
a
didn't
hood
see that
hand and
coming.
when you don't, and the basics about betting after the flop if you're the aggressive one pre-flop. And from that point, I don't know, leave comments below if this helped you.
Hi
If
there.
there's other things you want me to cover, then
This is
maybe I'll
more where
do
that
that in
came
a
from.
future video. So, this is Derek, working here for Streaming Games, signing
Oh,
out.
hello.
I'm gonna get you, Simon, I swear I will.